Congratulations, you're moving to Houston, and Houston is hot. You're thinking, do we want to buy a home with a pool? Do we want to buy a home without a pool and put one in? Do we even want a pool at all? These are the questions that we're going to answer today. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Steven Kinne with the Kinne Group, selling real estate in the Houston area, north to south, east to west, outside and inside the loop for over 20 years. We have thousands of 5-star reviews online. Check us out, by the way. And also, I'm a pool owner, so let's get into this one. The pool in Houston, Texas. Today we're going to go over 5 categories of pool ownership that you need to know. There's probably many more than 5, but today we're going to go over 5 of those, with number 1 being building a pool and how much does that cost. A lot of people will call up and say, hey, I want to put in a pool. How much is a pool? 50, 60,000? I'm like, maybe an 87, right? Putting in a pool in Houston is very, very expensive. It may even be more incrementally expensive than putting them in other states. One, why? Houston is so very hot and everybody wants to cool off. So a lot of people are putting in a pool. Now, I would say the average price to put in a pool, depending on easy access for the pool builder, you're not going too crazy on your fire and your amenities, etc., is probably 100 to 120,000. That's your basic pool, probably with a little waterfall, maybe a fire bowl, but this is going to be basically your no frills pool, some deck, some water, some excitement, of course your lights and your bubbles, but not a bunch else. Pools can easily get out of control, 125 to 150 to 200,000. We've got chillers now where people turn on their chiller. Hey, in Houston, at times, my pool has been up to 95, 97 degrees in the pool because when it's 105 outside, what happened to your pool water? It's now a bath. Your pool is not even refreshing when you get in and it's 95 and 97, unless you want to get in your spa and then you want it 104. Either way, pools are coming with chillers. Pools are coming with in-floor sweepers where you don't even have your little squirty going in and around now. Just sucks it down into the bottom, recycles the water and gets it back in. I'm not technical, but that's what I understand. You've got fireballs, you've got fire walls, you've got fireplaces, you've got grottos, you've got waterfalls here, there, and everywhere on top of your spa, overflowing into the pool. Pools can get very, very costly, so you definitely want to weigh, do we want to buy a home that has an existing pool that may not have all the bells and whistles, or do we want to build our own? It's a long, messy process, ruins your yard, takes a lot of time, and cha-ching, how are you going to pay for it? But then at least you get everything you want. So putting in a pool, plan for no less than 100 up to 150, 175, 200 and above, depending on the size and the sheer amount of flat work. Do you want Pebble Tech? Do you want the old style rocks? No, you don't want that. You want cool deck, you want stone, you want travertine and all the rest. You'll definitely want to plan to talk to at least a few pool builders. We can give you some references. If you've got any other questions on building a pool, of course, you can reach out anytime. The next thing you want to think about if you buy a home that has an existing pool is, what is this pool going to cost me to maintain on the monthly basis? Well, pools are pretty simple, but they're also kind of tricky. If you maintain your pool every week, and I'm talking 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, and it's not raining like wild, to mess up your chemicals, pools are relatively easy to maintain. Every week, if you got a saltwater, salt, acid, chlorine, call it a day. Maybe a little perfect pool, phos-free, etc. If you do that weekly, your pool is going to cost relatively minor dollars, let's say $50, maybe $100 a month in just chemicals and a little bit of elbow grease yourself. Of course, you have to empty your skimmers and make sure your little squirty is on, sucking up those leaves and debris so you don't get your phosphates risen. But if you're doing that on the weekly basis, it's going to be very relatively easy to maintain your pool. And of course, you're going to want to get your filters cleaned at least 2, maybe 3 times per year. If you clean your filters properly and on a scheduled maintenance, your filters typically last 4 to 5 to 6 years. I don't know how they last that long, but if you maintain them, they do. I've had my pool 5 years. I have not had to replace my filters yet because I clean them on a pretty tight regimen. Of course, I don't clean them myself. I hire somebody and I pay them $150 per cleaning. 3 cleanings per year, $450 a year, call it a day. Electricity, water, and gas costs associated with the pool, pretty low. I didn't notice a huge bump in any of those. The one time that you are gonna see a bump is if in the winter you heat your whole pool or you use your spa quite a bit. If you heat your whole pool for the weekend, you better make sure and use it all 3 days. Heating your entire pool in the winter can be upwards of $100, $120, at least I've seen on my bill. The spa, not too costly. You can run the spa 5, 10 times a month. You don't really even notice the cost on the gas usage for the spa, heating up to 104. Now, going back to if the weather gets a little bit wonky, rain will come in and wreck your water chemistry pretty quick. Don't let rainwater fester in your pool. Get your water tested right away. Make sure you get the chemicals right again, because if you let your pool go for more than a couple weeks without touching it, your chemical bills can get into the hundreds very, very quickly. So stay on your chemistry, stay on cleaning your pool filters, and your general maintenance of your pool should be pretty easy other than that. The next thing to know about buying, building, or owning a pool in the Houston area is maintenance of the pool. Now, I'm not talking about water here. I'm talking about the actual pool itself. General costs that are going to go into that. The first thing we're going to talk about is if you're buying a home that has a pool, be sure to get a separate pool inspection by a qualified pool inspector that's going to talk to you about your filters, your pumps, your heaters, your lights, your jets, and the actual shell and composition of your pool to make sure your pool is in good health. If not, you could run into a bind later, i.e., does your pool have a leak? But now that you've actually got the pool, what are the costs going to be associated with maintaining it? Let's talk about the first thing, expansive soils. Everybody knows in Houston, our soil is kind of like a waterbed. It expands when it rains. It contracts in the summer. It expands again in the winter. We're constantly breathing. Our soil is breathing in Houston. We're not rock. We are gumbo. So a lot of times your pool decks are going to heave and hoe over the years. You're going to have cosmetic cracks. You're going to have maybe bigger cracks. Your coping may buckle. Things may shift. Hopefully the shell of your pool doesn't break, but you definitely want to make sure from season to season, are you noticing cracks? Are you noticing shifts? And get those taken care of. A lot of times you'll get a guy to come in, he'll cut out little pieces, replace them, redope them up, get them leveled up. It's not that costly if you pay attention to it on an ongoing basis, but you do want to plan for coping shifts and cracks and minor cosmetic repairs on the decking and coping. Of course, as far as the mechanics of the pool, all of our pool equipment is in the blazing sun day and night, depending on where it's positioned in your house. But a lot of times it can be taking a beating. You want to make sure to maintain your gaskets, your valves, look for any cracks developing in the filter. Make sure your overall pool equipment is maintained effectively. I would say get it checked out at least once a year by a pool company if you're servicing your pool yourself. A lot of people do hire that out for maybe $150 to $200 a month. So that way people are constantly looking at it because they're checking your chemicals and checking your machinery. But if you service your own pool, at least have a company come out to take a look at your overall system one time a year to make sure that you catch anything before you actually have a breakdown. You'll also have problems with your filters, with your spa heater, with the thermostat in your spa heater, with your baskets creaking. Sometimes your jets malfunction and sometimes your lights go out. This doesn't happen very often, but I would say once your pool is a few years old, you're gonna have things start to creep up on you. You're gonna have to buy a new sucky, the little thing that sucks your leaves out of the bottom. Those are $700 to $1,200. Be sure to budget ahead of time for that. You're gonna have lights that go out. The lights that go out on your spa and your pool are sometimes up to $1,000 or $1,200 per light. So you'll want to account for that. And of course, there's always problems that pop up with your heater, the thermostat, and your jets. You're gonna wanna have your pool guy on call. Most of the time, repairs only run into the hundreds or a couple $100s. It's not overwhelming. But every several years, you're probably gonna get dinged with a bigger charge, whether it be a heater, some valves that break, hopefully not your filter pump, maybe a small leak develops in the pool, you gotta get your jets worked on. So do intend to have small bills associated with maintaining your pool equipment. So these are some of the costs associated with actually owning a pool other than water and general maintenance. Next topic of discussion is insurance. How much does it cost or add to your insurance bill to own a pool? I think it's basically negligible, maybe a few $100s a year. I haven't noticed any additional cost for insurance on my house. However, there are some requirements that you might want to check with your insurance person on owning and insuring a home with a pool. A couple things to think about. One, liability. We definitely don't want anybody to get hurt or drown in your pool. Do you need to make sure your home insurance policy has additional coverage for liability? A lot of times it may require an additional $300,000 or $500,000 in liability for your pool. Be sure to check with your insurance guy on that. Secondarily, a lot of insurance companies may require you to put up a pool safety fence around the pool to make sure that nobody gets through, kids get through, and accidentally drown. God forbid that ever happen. A lot of insurance companies additionally will require springs to be on your exterior gates, and possibly your exterior gates be locked, so that way if it gets left open by maybe a meter reader or a lawn guy, that it actually automatically closes so kids, animals, or anybody else don't fall and drown in the pool. And finally, some insurance companies may actually require you to have a pool alarm, where if a gate is open, it goes off to alert somebody that somebody has entered the pool area. But as always, get with your insurance company to make sure that your pool is compliant with the requirements for the insurance company. The last thing we're going to get into today is the eternal question: resale and my pool value. Am I going to get money back when I sell my house? This one gets a little tricky. One, everybody always says, oh, when you sell your house, you're going to get $25,000 back, you get $30,000 back. In Houston, I would say not so. Of course, it depends on the area. A lot of people in Houston, because it's so very hot, want, and a lot of people demand a pool. Many areas of Houston, depending on how beautiful, how exclusive your house and your neighborhood is, you could get the full value of your pool back. It's getting more and more common where people are desiring and or demanding to have a pool. Once again, going back to how hot it is. Now, if you put in the whole pool chiller, you put in the floor cleaning system, you've got grottos, fire pits everywhere, full outdoor fireplace, etc., the likelihood of you getting full value back on your pool gets a little bit slimmer. But if you've got a clean mid-range pool with the fire, with the spa, with the bells and whistles, you'll get a good ring back from your pool when you do sell the house. Other areas of the country, maybe not so. You'll get pennies on the dollar back for your pool. But in Houston, we all want one. I got one. The last few houses I've had, I actually put them in myself. I enjoy my pool. Everybody likes to have a nice cocktail, maybe a cigar in the hot tub. If you're considering a pool in the Houston area, of course, you can always reach out to us. We'll go through pool basics, me being a pool owner myself, and what you can expect owning a pool in the Houston area. I'm Steven Kinne, always here for you.